Hi! Thank you very much for joining back in. My name is Fonny. In my channel, I talk about my houseplants and my Hoyas. Today, it is another episode of Hoya Bloom series. This is a very recent purchase I have, and I have showed you multiple times. I also included it in my top 10 favorite because of the almost opening peduncle. And today I'm so happy to show you that the flower has finally opened. This is a flower that has a very specific shape in the flower shape. It looks like an egg whisk. That is Hoya Decipulae right over here. If you can take a look at this video now, it is so peculiar in the shape. I'm going to give you a lot of close-up describing how this flower shape looks like and everything that I know about this particular Hoya, including a very limited care tips that I have tried on in the past 2 months. And please also let me know your care tips that you would like to recommend to me, because I am very, very new in Hoya Decipulae. Right. I am really happy to show you this right next to me. Let's start off with the first part. How long does it take to flower this particular Hoya? A little bit of background before I dig into the detail. I got this one around 4 months ago from LB Garden. I have not got a lot of luck with this particular Hoya because I find it to be very difficult to root and very difficult to care for when it comes to pushing out new growth. As you can tell, this is a growth for 4 months. And when I got this one, it is a pretty full, big rooted plant. It's like this big maybe. But what happened is the plant didn't really root, and I got this very tiny stem left. If you can see this one, this stem over here. So basically this entire stem that you see are grown off from this node that is barely nothing at the time when I tried to root it. So in essence, this took me a very long time to root, and I'm really happy at the time when I saw this growth point over here. It's finally started after like a month or so. I did not expect to see this flower so soon. So in that perspective, it took me 4 months to have, without almost anything, almost any leaves on the stem, all the way until this opening of the flower. So yeah, I think this one is not a difficult bloomer if it is well established in the root system, because this one is a very young plant. As I mentioned, it starts off with almost like a bare stem, and then the entire thing grows off under 4 months time. Yeah. So let's move on to the peduncle formation. The peduncle started off around 4 weeks ago. It started off with a very small peduncle length. As you can see here, the peduncle is very short. It's nothing like the typical Hoya with very, very long peduncle, but the peduncle itself is very short. And the pedicel, it's almost the same length of the peduncle as well. So it starts off with a very small peduncle, as I mentioned, and then it grows slowly. You can see that in the first week, it starts having a little bit of dot on the edge. I see a lot of pictures of Hoya Decipulae to have more flowers in one peduncle, but I'm having 4. I already am very happy. And in the second week, it slowly grows a little bit bigger. It's not having any coloration in the bud itself. I would say it looks very similar to the coloration of the peduncle itself. It's like lime green, slightly yellowish. And then in the third week, it grows a lot bigger. And you can really see in the third week, the shape of the whisk started off. It's more like a pointy peduncle, and that's the reason why the corolla almost opened, but it's not completely opened at the moment. I heard people say that for Decipulae, it could stay in this shape for a pretty long time. I think it's around 7 to 10 days. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave a comment down here so then you can see that after I have edited this video. But eventually people say that this one will open up and become a very thin star shape. I will show you pictures on that if that happened. But today it is the first day, actually. It is the first day that opened. So let's see how many days it will stay in this shape. Yeah, and then in the 4th week, you see this is how it opened up. Just a little bit of interesting fact about when this opened. I was actually washing my Milspo cabinet because it has a lot of mealybugs occupying my entire Milspo cabinet. That's why I have a full cleanup of all of the plants. And then I took this one out. I was thinking, yeah, it's kind of mature. It was unopened at the time when I took it out from the Milspo cabinet. I give it a very warm shower, I would say between 40 to 50 Celsius degree, but it's a very warm, it's a very quick shower. It's not like dipping it into hot water. And then I have it sprayed with neem oil and then sprayed with quite dense alcohol solution. I think it's probably going to be 50% because I diluted the alcohol, so it just got a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture, just very in a very short period of time. And within 2 hours I was just doing my errands and then I just turned around and I saw this one opened. That's just incredible. So yeah, I think one of the way to encourage the flower to open maybe is to give it a little bit of humidity. I'm not sure. Please do not count me on that one. I'm just saying that was my experience seeing this one open in a very short period of time, just because I have showered it a little bit and done some pest control for it. Right, let's move on to the very interesting close-up of the flower shape. I have recorded the flower shape yesterday when I told you that I just saw it open after I have showered it with warm water and neem oil spray and also alcohol spray. Let's have a close-up look. I took this one outside of the Milspo cabinet to give it a shower because there could be some mealy bugs, and it opened when I took it out. Maybe it's because of the extra water that I sprayed on top of it and also all of these shock that I provide. It opened just like an egg whisk. As you can see, the close-up here, it has, I think, around 5 corolla, and it is connecting with each other. And you can see that it just exactly looks like an egg whisk. Now is the 2nd day after I have showed you the previous video. Now 4 of the flower has opened up, and you can also see a little bit more clearer of the corona in the middle. It is very, very small, and the corolla are very, very thin. As you can see on the side, it has around, I would say, 5 corolla on each flower. And the whisk shape is very special. You can see that it has just that little bit of touch on the very tip, and it has this kind of convex shape. You can also see that the peduncle itself is quite short. The pedicel is even longer than the peduncle length. And I can show you this one, how large it is. So each of the flower, it's almost like the size of my nail, and the coloration of the corolla is pure white, and I could say maybe a little bit of cream, but it's definitely a cream / very white flower. And the corona in the middle is also white. I'm not sure if that's pollen. Let me know in the comment box down below if you know that. It is so special. And in the front, you can see it looks like a star shape. But when you turn it, it's like an egg whisk. I hope you enjoyed the close-up video. Now let's move on to the flower scent. I sniffed really hard. I can't really smell any floral scent. Probably it is because it does not have any. I'm not sure, but it doesn't smell anything. Please leave your comment down below if you have flowered Hoya Decipulae, and what do you think about the floral scent? Did you smell anything? Does it smell good, or does it not smell anything? Let me know in a comment down below. It will be really interesting to know how other people's experience are. Then we move on to the flowering duration. I have not flowered Decipulae before, so this is just the second or first day for me to see this one. So I will let you know in the comment here how long it lasted for. As far as I know, it could be up to 2 weeks in accordance to my research, very limited research, so I will put the duration down here below to let you know. Last part, the Peduncle Nature. Again, this is the first time for me to flower Decipulae. I'm not sure. Just from how it looks like, it gives me the feeling of maybe Pendurata or maybe Brahmanica, just the kind of shape of the peduncle. Based on that, if it is similar, then it will be a reputable peduncle, but I'm not sure. Let me know again in the comment down below, what are your experience if you have flowered multiple times the Hoya Decipulae. Last part, which is a very limited information that I have, is the care tips. I am not an expert, definitely not an expert on Decipulae because I just have this one for 4 months. But based on my limited experience, I feel like Decipulae needs to be in moisture most of the time, because as you can see, this is a pretty small water reservoir. And even though the plant is very small, as you can see here, it's just like 4 nodes, the water reservoir here emptied in 3 to 4 days. It's double the speed of other Hoyas that I have with similar size and similar setting. So I think Decipulae needs to drink a lot of water, and it likes to be constantly moist. Because of the stem itself, it's kind of like this lime green color, and it's not anything wooden for most of the part. So in that perspective, I think it needs to be constantly moist more than other ones. And also the leaf is very thin, so it kind of needs to be in that kind of condition instead of letting it dried out. Otherwise it could be a very bad impact to the plant. And with regard to the light, I don't think the Decipulae needs a lot of light, because if you see the close up here, the coloration is pretty lime green, and that's because I have it in a very high light condition. It is not a slow grower after it has developed established roots, but it's not really fast. And I think if I give it less light, it will have larger leaf and the coloration will be darker in green. So probably I'll try that and see if there's a difference. And with regard to the temperature, I have this one in my Millspool cabinet that's between 21 to 32 Celsius degree. So I keep it pretty warm. But as I mentioned, I think the key factor is the watering. Because it just have really thin and really green kind of fresh stem instead of wooden stem. All right, that's everything I know about Hoya Decipulae. If you like this video and you want me to continue making this type of content, please be generous to hit that like button and share this video with your friends. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, don't hesitate. Please hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out next time when I posted similar content or other content with regard to other houseplant. If you have any questions with regard to the cat tips, please leave your comment down below. I can try to answer it. But if you have any suggestion for me to keep Decipulae, please be generous again to share your comment down below so that I can learn from everyone. Until next time, I wish everyone is having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.